You stay off it.
Oh my gosh.
You know, it upsets people, which
Sure.
is why I want to buy it. And let's go off-road.
Oh. Well, welcome back to Tailosive EV. Thank you, Mike, for
bet, Drew.
buying a Rivian. The long story short, I hit a nail in my Model 3, and I got a low tire, and then I ran into my old landlord for our last office for Tailosive. He said, "Hey, how do you like your Tesla? You know, I have a friend who just got a Rivian." And I was like, "Oh, I gotta meet this guy." I was like,
Actually, Scott went down to Sacramento and picked it up with me. He's the one who put me down there.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. Yeah, I think he was telling me he got a chance to.
He did.
You let him drive it?
Well, here was the thing. We had the woman who drove one for me, and I felt more comfortable with her than with him. And
Okay.
what better reward
Yeah.
than to allow him to drive the car? So
Of
he
course.
actually drove this car before I did.
Really? That's a lot of trust.
Minute
I'm
ago.
curious what got you into electric vehicles in the first place. You probably owned a lot of cars before this one.
I have, yes. I'm a car guy.
Yeah, in your research, what brought you to Rivian above other brands?
This was a unique vehicle being produced by a company that was just a good story. RJ had a car company for a long time,
Right.
and he built something that attracted investors, sad investors now, but nevertheless investors who backed his play and gave him enough money that he probably will make it. I mean, if anybody's going to make it, he's going to make it.
I agree.
So I got
agree.
in early.
Nice.
And this is a launch edition.
Wow.
And
Quad motor.
quad
I
motor,
assume.
yeah.
I think it's pretty much the only vehicle on the road with 4 motors at this point.
I think so.
Other than an R1T, but that's same.
Tesla does
same
3
thing.
motors, and
Yeah.
I don't think 4 motors would make a lot of difference to an on-road vehicle.
Sure.
But
sure.
in an off-road vehicle,
Yeah.
oh, it's terrific.
Yeah,
because
all the
you
different
have
driving modes.
you have computers driving traction. It really will perform off-road. Of course, one thing is the brush is not kind, so I won't
right.
take it places that I would take a Jeep, for example.
Like to the paint or to the...
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with that.
Yeah.
So how long have you had it now?
I've had it since April 26th,
Oh,
so
okay.
about 4 months.
Okay, it's been pretty long. How many miles have you clocked up on
It
it?
doesn't have 3,000 on it.
Wow, okay, so pretty early. You're pretty early in the overall
Yes, I am,
ownership
yeah.
experience. And what made you go, just curious, what made you go with the SUV over the truck?
Honest with you, it has to do with California taxes. In California, if you have a pickup, you have to pay a commercial fee, a weight fee. Now, this is a 7,000-pound vehicle. I have a 3/4-ton diesel pickup and a 4-foot bed. In fact, to be honest with you, Drew, I ordered a T first because it was going to come out earlier.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I converted.
Interesting.
And for one time, I had both on order, a T and an S, and I was like, well, slow down.
These tires are amazing. They're huge.
Well, they offer 3 tire choices. Their stock tire is a 21-inch.
Like range-friendly
It's
tire?
more. It is the range-friendly tire.
Yeah, yeah.
And the second one is a 22-inch, just about the same kind of tread pattern. And this is the off-road tire. This is the lowest range.
Okay.
And you get penalized pretty substantially. All in all, I wanted something that I could take into the desert, or I'm not dissatisfied with my choice.
Good, good. Yeah, I was going to say that one of the more upsetting things to me is when someone gets a vehicle with all the, 4 motors and all this amazing suspension controls, but then they just kind of keep it on road. They just kind of drive to work and back. It's like, no, these are built for what the vehicle overall is optimized for.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't realize how tall it was until I'm just standing next to it.
It's actually pretty low right
And
now.
yeah, this goes much higher.
You probably know it has quite a range of height.
Things that maybe weren't as great as you were hoping? Any drawbacks or complaints in the first 4 months?
You know, when you're on the cutting edge of a car company,
Right.
you should have an expectation that things aren't going to go as smooth as they would with Porsche, for example.
Sure.
First thing is that Rivian customer service, you can tell they invested a ton of energy into keeping their customers, communicating with their customers and keeping them satisfied. We both own Teslas.
Oh, okay.
And when I was buying my Tesla, it was virtually impossible to talk to anybody about anything.
It still is.
What they did well, they delivered with what they said they would deliver. But relative to you knowing what's going on or any question you might have, forget it.
Right.
They didn't care about that. Rivian, on the other hand, is like holding your hand. When your car is being built, you're assigned a guide.
That's awesome.
And the
I
guide
love
is
that.
there for you all the time to talk to. I've read online that some people weren't satisfied with their guides, but my guide was terrific.
Awesome.
He was just
That's good to hear.
just terrific. You knew along the way what you could do and what you couldn't do, and it continues into ownership.
Good.
You have immediate contact. And you know, it wasn't without problems. The car was delivered with a cracked back glass.
Oh, really? Where, on the roof?
Yeah, there's 2 pieces of glass up here.
Oh, gotcha.
One larger one and a smaller
So
one in the
this
back.
one was cracked.
That one was cracked. Nobody noticed it.
So high.
Yeah, about a week into it, I thought, oh, I'll try to sleep in this thing, and I crawled into it and I saw it.
Oh,
And then I thought, they're just going to bust my chops over this because, you know, it's a glass break. So I called them and got an appointment. Took about 3 weeks. I went down to Sacramento. Real nice young lady comes out and says, this will be $1,500. You know, she has an estimate, and I said,
yeah.
I took delivery with it like this.
Yeah.
And so they inspected it. They saw no damage. They covered it under warranty.
Wow.
It was just that smooth.
Good. They just took your word for it.
They did. They did take
Good.
my word for it.
Good.
Not without verifying that there wasn't a, you know, something like it was stepped on or something.
Right,
It
right.
likely was stepped on. That's why I think you
Really?
can break these top glass. So you stay off it.
Oh. Okay, nice. So this is like a little tailgate, basically.
It is. And I'll tell you what I really love about that.
Smart.
Is that when you're loading stuff up, you have it closed.
Right.
And it all just is like a little pickup bed.
Yeah, so things aren't rolling out or
No,
anything.
it's real nice and
Nice. That's so smart. That is deep. It's cool to see it in person. And then they've got the buttons here so you can fold those flat. Oh, wow. Green interior to match with the exterior.
I hated to pay $2,000 for it.
Sure.
But on the other hand, it just smoothed out the vehicle a little more, made it
Yeah.
look a little more high class.
Yeah, well, I like the matching. That's why we went with the white interior. I like the white and the white matching. So this goes with the
So
exterior.
this was an option that I thought would be pleasing. It also has a throwback kind of feeling to me too. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm 72 years old, so when I was a kid, they used to build cars like this. They would have, you know, they have matching interiors, and then that was a big deal. So
That's lovely.
maybe an old guy likes that better.
No, I love it too. Oh, check that out. Physical door handle. It's not just a digital. It's like that actually unlatches it. Ooh, that's a satisfying little door thump. So first off, we're much higher off the ground, which is nice. And this is probably still on the lower
It is in the lowest
suspension
setting right now.
Wow, so we're only up from here. I love this interior design. We've got the launch edition branding.
Yeah,
and
this
everything.
wood is limited to the green interior.
Oh, really?
It's actually the only one that is that color.
Oh, it's like the brownish shade. The other one's the black mountain. Is
Yeah, and
gonna
they're
be that
starting
dark
to go
wood.
away from the wood and go more to a vinyl covering.
Right,
And
right.
there's a lot of people don't care for the wood
Sure.
because it's kind of a throwback.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know, we've already been over that ground.
We like the throwbacks.
I'm
That's
a
okay.
throwback guy.
Yeah, you got these back. I
yeah.
wish I had these in my car.
There's one thing they didn't do though, Drew.
What's that?
And my wife is 5 feet tall,
Oh, okay.
and they didn't put a handle there.
Oh, right.
You know, Rivian, if you see this,
Yeah.
that is something you might want to do.
That's helped, especially if you're off road, moving around a lot.
More importantly, to get in, because
Right.
even at the lowest setting, it's a little high for her.
Sure.
That's actually the only design problem I saw, and there's probably some reason for it. That's probably full of wires.
Oh yeah, they got a bunch of stuff
Yeah.
tucked away in there. Awesome. Should we take it for a spin?
Sure.
It's on. So the controls were probably fairly intuitive coming from a Tesla, I assume.
They are. In fact, they work pretty well. I don't think they've completely overcome the problem of going into a menu while you're on the road. That's
Okay.
all of us that drive electric cars have that issue.
Yeah,
If you're
yeah.
my age, you have it even more because
Uh-huh.
it's important that I pay attention. Some things are kind of nuts, like where's the odometer?
Oh yeah, I was just thinking.
And the odometer is,
Very
I don't even know if I can find it, but it's in a strange place to start with, and then it's under a tag called About.
Is it in the car settings? Can I try? Can I look for it?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Oh, you got a little now playing tab off to the side. That's convenient.
That's
Oh, all your
heating,
HVAC.
yeah.
Set up by your profile?
Oh wait, I just did remember.
Yeah.
There's a sub menu that gets activated like that. Look at that.
Oh, you swipe up.
Yeah, and that's something new. That
okay.
wasn't like that when I got it.
And then settings.
And then settings, and then you go to about, and now you have it.
Odometer. Gotcha. Yeah, that's too many. I agree.
Yeah.
That should be.
I mean, it's not impossible, but
right.
This had me looking in the book to figure out how to get it.
So I see you're averaging 1.24 miles per kilowatt hour. So you're definitely off-roading.
No, it's really about 2.
Okay. That's what you typically get?
Yeah.
I
and I think that's about what everybody gets.
For a vehicle of this size with this many seats still, if you look at the miles per gallon equivalent, that's so much better.
Oh my gosh.
Dude.
Give us a warning next time. I got whiplash.
That is amazing.
You want warning?
Yeah.
Well, you know we have a Tesla, right? So
I do know.
And it's the slowest one they made.
You have the same Tesla I have.
yeah.
Oh, really? You got the rear-wheel drive?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, cool.
It's set in the sport mode right now. That's why it's so bumpy.
Gotcha.
They just did a software update to improve the ride in the all-purpose mode, and I'll put it in that.
That is so absurd. I'm just not used to getting in a vehicle of this size with this much like mass to it, and then feeling that.
Oh no, it's in some ways it doesn't feel as fast as the Tesla, even though it's faster.
Just because it's higher?
It's got that mass, and that mass doesn't. You don't feel the quickness of it.
So get ready, Louise.
Louise, are you ready?
Barely.
I won't do it in the corner.
Okay, thank you. Oh.
What?
That's
amazing.
70 miles an hour.
No one's really behind us, so can you show like the regen when you come off it?
Sure.
Like how drastic is it? And we're on a downhill.
Well, it's very heavy.
Wow.
Here we are downhill. Let's put it up to 50 miles an hour.
Okay.
Okay, now we're going down. We're already.
That's pure regen.
Yeah, that's all regen.
Man. Okay, that's really strong.
It disappears above 75.
Really?
You can barely feel it above 75. It's just, that's all the power it has.
The inertia.
Yeah, this is over 7,000 pounds. Let's put it into all-purpose.
Okay.
And now we're going to go to auto and soft, and you'll get a little different feel for the vehicle.
So it's adjusting its height as you're rolling.
It's coming up. It's got a little meter here. Right now it's at average height. As you get over 50 miles an hour, it'll lower further.
Interesting.
For mileage. And you can feel the ride is quite different.
It's very quiet inside too.
It is quiet.
Considering the speed.
It is quiet.
So what did you do during your career that you know so much about EVs? And
I started my life as an engineer, but became a lawyer rather quickly.
Oh,
So
interesting.
I made my living being a lawyer, but I studied engineering.
wow.
I don't tell people I know a lot about them. I just tinker with it.
Sure.
I actually, one of the reasons I have these vehicles is I like to think about technology, and these are truly at the pinnacle of technology for automotive technology.
Do you notice any difference in power if you're at a lower state of charge, or is it pretty solid every time?
Really about the same.
Yeah, how's the turning? Whoa, that's a really great turning radius.
The S has got, the S is a shorter wheel span than the T.
Wow.
And it has a lower turning radius.
So that's another incentive to get the S.
We don't know a lot about these cars yet. They haven't been out very long. So I noticed a team took one over the Rubicon in stock form and made it. The only thing they put on it was rock rails.
Man, it's crazy to think we're sitting on like 130 kilowatt hours.
Yeah, it's a big battery. You know, I was used to the same Tesla you drive, a 60 kW battery. Pull into a charger when you're on the road, 30 minutes, you're in shape to go again. This battery is a long charge, and you're kind of tied to Electrify America charging stations. And
how's that been for you?
It's been disappointing, would be the way to say it. They don't charge at the speed they say they will. They're frequently broke down chargers, and everyone talks about that. Now, the Rivian charging system, I was able to charge at 2 Rivian charging stations.
Good. And how did that go?
Perfect.
Nice.
Fast and free.
Awesome.
They will charge for electricity, but right now they're giving their customers free charging.
Oh, sweet. Well, it doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, because it's, you know, at 50 cents a kilowatt, this thing is like charging a a pickup truck.
Right.
Well, that brings you to energy. What if you had this at home in California?
Yeah.
I think that'll be a real detractor for people. PG&E, I'll make a pitch for PG&E. They'll charge you 41 cents a kilowatt.
We're on the tiered system, actually. Or what is it? Time of
Yeah,
use?
we're trying to get the time of use. And our off-peak time is still 25 cents a kilowatt hour. I mean, in other states, that's above their peak.
Yeah,
you know,
correct.
that's,
Yeah.
at that price, the gas incentives aren't that big. You know, like
No,
you're not paying for gas,
they're not.
but your electricity's so high.
So what I did is I put in a solar system with battery backup. I drive, well, except for the investment, I drive the vehicle free. These cars I don't believe are going to be practical for everyone. You know,
Sure.
if you live in an apartment complex and you're depending on public chargers, these would be annoying. Plug in at home, every time you get in the vehicle, you're charged. Of course, I was used to the LFP batteries. These are not, of course, not LFP.
Not yet, because they've said they're working on a
They
LFP
are going
variant.
to put them in the dual motor.
Right.
They're not going to ever put them in a 4-motor. They just don't have
I
enough
doubt it.
power for that.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
you have to be mindful of your battery state of charge, and that means I keep it about 70%.
And I saw you have a Rivian charger too.
I do.
A level 2.
You know, I was in so early that they were selling that charger for $500, and I was
that's not bad.
I was on to that. Let's go off road.
Oh, we're gonna take it off. Oh, sweet! I didn't even know we could do this.
I own a little off-road property. Now it's at the highest setting. Not yet. It's still coming
Oh,
up.
it's
but
just
the
so
ride
in
height is-
pulsatings, it's moving
Right.
up.
Well, if you look at the hood,
Uh-huh.
it may look different to you.
Yeah, I can see it.
And then after you get into off-road, then you have other choices you can make.
Oh,
Like
that's cool.
This is rock crawl.
Is that what you use back here usually?
I've never been back here with
Oh, really? This is your first
I've had
time.
no need to be back here.
We're trailblazing.
Yeah.
You know, the funny thing is we're off-road and I really don't even feel like the ride quality changed much.
It's not a very rough off-road.
No.
Let's make it a little rougher.
Okay.
See what happens. And this is not rough, but
Wow.
this vehicle is as capable as a Jeep.
Do you have a Jeep or
I
experience?
actually just sold one, and I don't know if you're familiar with Jeeps, but if you drive a modern car and you get into a Jeep, it's a different experience.
Night and day.
Not good. What
Oh,
happened
man.
when we put it in off-road is all the side accident prevention things about you're too close, they're all off.
Oh, the ultrasonic.
Yeah, you're
sensors.
just all off.
Man, I feel so high off the ground now. It's like we're
Then it's
king
got
of
a
the trail.
mode for drift mode.
Oh,
so
wow.
you turn off stability, of course, because you want the back end to keep
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Again, this is like, who does this with a $100,000 vehicle?
Yeah, be careful.
Yeah, you don't want to hurt it, but
Well,
I love how you can just tuck
Especially near
between.
these trees.
Yeah.
You want to crawl around trees
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh man, you're just tucking away. So was that a little grip thing we heard?
No, we hit a little stump with
Oh,
something.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I think like any time I've been in an off-road situation,
Oh my god.
Yeah, it breaks loose
It
right
punches.
away.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
No.
I was supposed to give warning.
but anytime I've been in an off-road situation like this, you're used to hearing the vehicle kind of roar and, and struggle. So it's weird.
It won't do that.
Hearing the silence.
Again, this is not very rough here. You can see what we went down, and this is a little steeper. Right
Here you go. Let's see how it handles that. Oh. Oh. A little bit of slip.
Yeah, but it'll crawl right over it.
Wow. Oh my gosh. It's like we're flying.
Yeah, you see it slipped a little bit, but
It literally just feels like we're hovering just over the dirt.
well, the weight of the vehicle really helps in these scenarios. You have 7,000 pounds, so
and it's really evenly
Yeah.
distributed. I'm impressed by the visibility too. Like the hood doesn't cover too much.
well, and you also have cameras.
Oh wow! You even got the
Yeah,
360. That's cool.
yeah. So you can.
Nice.
What you see there is the license plate.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's the license plate.
Yeah, you got the
steering-
front view.
Yeah.
The Tesla just don't got that yet.
No, but you can see when you go around something like this, if you see the wood pile,
Oh
you can get
wow.
a pretty good idea where you were.
Yeah, yeah.
Where you are with that, and then we have a stump over here.
Uh-huh.
And you say, well, how close am I to that stump? Can I clear it?
Wow.
And yeah,
That's so cool. It's
We
like
can-
you got a drone flying
we
over.
can clear it.
How do you feel about the Cybertruck? being a Tesla owner and a Rivian owner.
I have one on order.
Oh, really?
I've had it on order since the early days.
You're still waiting then, or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
There's no notice yet at all.
You'd be interested in having this and a Cybertruck, or you're kind of curious how the reviews turn out?
I haven't. Oh no, I've never waited for reviews. I think the Cybertruck is a wonderful exercise. It's exoskeleton, with stainless steel. I mean, nobody's done that since DeLorean, and for good reason, because they're troublesome. Let's see, we got to get this back into something that drives on the road. I'm a little turned off by a couple things.
Sure.
We had a lot of trouble with the windshield wiper, for example, and ended up putting it all the way up this windshield. Mr. Musk has said, well, that's not the way it's going to come out, but it looks like it is going to come out.
I think so too. Yeah. I think he probably didn't want that, but that's what they're doing.
But he's got detachable mirrors on it. I think it'll be a relatively good vehicle, but it upsets people, which is why I want to buy it. And the other thing that it'll give you, maybe, it's a pretty big vehicle like this one.
Sure.
But with that stainless steel, maybe you won't be so hesitant to go down trails and get scratched.
Sure, get it up against the trees.
Who cares if
and
it gets
stuff.
scratched?
Exactly.
It'll give it character.
Yeah, it's kind of welcoming it. The only compromise is you won't get a guide. The customer service and quality control.
Well, it's interesting you say that, Drew, because recently I stopped by Tesla in Chico. It was a totally different experience.
Oh, good.
There was an experienced Tesla employee there.
Nice. Okay.
And he said, look, drive all the cars. So that day I drove a Y and an X and an S, and he was like real generous with his time, and totally different experience from what I had earlier.
Okay, so that's improvement. There it goes. Wow. There's certainly a lot more headroom than the Model Y, that's for sure. That 7-seat Model Y option just puts this column about right here. Right. I don't know how that's legal. In a collision, it would be.
You have glass above your head. That's why they've raised it back there.
Well, I like that there's the rear-mounted, there's vents back here as well, so you get air conditioning even in the very back.
How's the legroom?
The legroom's not great, but I can tell these are on a rail. Are they on a rail system?
That'll do it every time.
Yeah.
The manual.
Oh, that's better.
Okay. So it slides forward a little bit. Oh yeah.
The situation you're in right now is one where a person could sit here, they wouldn't have a lot, and you could have someone sit there. So if you're taking a short trip, it would work.
Yeah,
Mike, do you want to try sitting there? I don't know if that's too tight for you.
Do I really have to do it?
You don't have to.
I'm 6'3".
So
and Drew's 5'11".
6'3". Is the driver's seat in a normal driving position?
It is for me, but that makes it pretty far back.
Yeah.
Wow.
If I were up there, I would move it. It would be more like this. I would have enough room to drive a short distance.
Sure. No, this is definitely manageable. It kind of has the same thing my Model 3 second row has, which is when the floor is higher, you can't keep your legs as flush with the seat, but still, like miles ahead of
Thank you, Mike.
crossover with that bubble back design where it tapers off at the end, so you don't have much room for your head or anything. So
I wasn't doing this right. I mean, watch how it responds when I hit the right button. And it goes forward.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There you go.
I don't know what that is. Don't pull that.
Okay. Just your high voltage battery.
What is it?
Airbag might go off.
Yeah. There's some kind of
Let me see if
little orange tag here. But they're perforated. I doubt these are cooled, but I like that they still feel very comfortable. Oh, and there's a little cubby back here.
Actually, the one on the driver's side works better.
Oh, wow.
It goes forward. I'm going to take this out of here.
Oh, yeah. There's even USB-C ports hidden in the little...
Yeah. They're pretty good about doing that.
So you can charge. Huh. That's amazing.
This is a good family car, I think. You can have 5 kids.
I read a lot about people with families having them, and with little kids, like 5 or 6 years old, they work great. But as they get bigger, the seats just don't work well enough that you get in and out every day and you like it.
Yeah, because they just kind of slide forward, but yeah, they pull down and then snap. Perfect.
I think you'll see more work done on these seats.
They've probably changed them 3 times already. Who knows?
And as the price keeps going up, people are going to be more demanding.
That's true. What's the insurance and registration been like for this?
Registration was seamless because I went through Rivian. And incidentally, when I bought my Tesla, it took about 6 weeks for the plates to show up.
Oh, really?
The Rivian was there in 1 week.
Wow.
They were instantly there.
Good.
Insurance, I bought my insurance through Rivian. Rivian is an agent of Nationwide Insurance. They actually have an agency.
Okay.
I had Tesla insurance for the Tesla.
We do too.
And I canceled it for the same reason I was upset with them, that they don't answer a phone.
Right.
If you try to call them, you can't get anybody.
Right.
So I transferred my Tesla insurance over to Nationwide with Rivian. Rivian continues to be, you call them, somebody picks up the phone and deals with you on that day.
Awesome.
It's never a delay. Regarding price, these are pricey. They're expensive vehicles. I have a good rating. I have a perfect driving record. I don't, I'm elderly and I don't drive much. And so I've got about the best there is. So between the two cars, it's about $3,500 a year for both of them.
Okay.
For a year.
All right. That seems reasonable to me, considering how much they're worth and how new of a vehicle.
What I hear is if you get even a fender bender, you might total the car.
I've seen that. Yeah, because it's just a lot of combined pieces, so just one thing gets damaged and you got to take a lot of things
Right.
off.
Apparently they use a single piece of metal all the way back underneath the panels.
Right.
And so anything, you don't bolt something up.
That might be cheaper to manufacture or something, but harder to service.
The Cybertruck is going to be built the same way. They're now doing pressings that are just unbelievable. I mean, the manufacturing techniques result in a car that's stiff and solid and can't rattle because it's all just one piece.
Right.
And I think that's part of why you feel the solidness of the car.
Right.
It's because it really is put together just in one.
And hopefully the Cybertruck's exterior is so much stronger that you wouldn't even get dents in a fender bender,
We'll see.
We'll have to wait and see. Well, thank you so much, Mike. Is there any advice you'd give to someone who's considering a Rivian or?
Save your money. You're going to need it.
Well, hopefully the dual motors and LFPs in the R2 platform can open it up to more and more people.
I think the R2 is going to change that company.
Oh, yeah?
I think it'll do what the 3 did to Tesla.
I agree.
It will broaden the sales immensely.
Sure.
If they can get it in the $40,000 range. Not going to be that far off this vehicle. The dual motor is, I doubt you could feel the difference in a dual motor right now.
Right,
probably. I mean, even stepping on it, it would feel about the same.
Their goal with the launch products like the R1 was just like, we got to establish a brand. I hear RJ talk about that. They're trying to build a passionate community, and those early customers, I think, are having a decently positive experience, and it's showing people what they're looking for in an electric car. So really exciting, really encouraging to see such a first impression.
I think you have a positive experience if you have your expectations set right.
Yes.
That you're dealing with a startup company.
Right.
And the truth is, Rivian will bend over backwards to satisfy you. But some people, their expectations are just a little bit too high.
Sure.
It's not going to have the build quality that Porsche does. They don't have the experience to do that.
Right. That's fair.
But they come out with a good product and a reliable product, and it's held together just fine. It's not rattling apart or.
Oh, it sounded flawless. I couldn't hear anything, and all the doors and just the build.
Very tight. They did that because they designed the vehicle to go through 4 feet of water.
Oh, wow.
And so the doors have to be watertight.
Oh,
and that's why
important.
you have that sealed feeling.
Yeah, it's a great feeling. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And if you ever need someone to look after it, let us know. And thanks to everybody supporting, and we'll see you in the next one.